Everyone we see is a reflection of us. There is always questionable notions in science or psychology or psychiatrists. I believe, as it has happened to me on many occasions, someone once said to me that, is watching movies bad for you? Similar how when a television is on, it transmits certain energy or frequencies that make you feel certain ways, and obviously the advertisement with the jingles pumping at different hertz settings has an effect. You can feel it. If you haven't watched television for over a year, when these daily shows and game shows and adverts are on, you just feel uncomfortable. You can feel how bad it is. It's a form of hypnosis. In my opinion, all my stuff is hypothesis. But think about it. It is a mass form of hypnosis on a large scale. As we know, the television has patents out for specific things. The world knew how dark it was to keep people in the dark, and what it introduced as new technology. So you sign up for it not knowing what it does. So are movies bad for you? Are they bad for the mind? Well, yes and no. As with everything, you can have a good effect that really opens you up or makes you feel good. But let's look at the movies that are always having number one hits. It's horror movies or adventure movies or fighting movies. These sort of things, but all of mainstream movies. In the case of my situation, I've always had that thought based upon a previous audio of me at the beach as a teenager. Another one of those leading from that is, I've always believed that I could be a ghost living in a realm that I have passed, stemming from that. But then something occurred to me, that the plot of that thought doesn't come from my mind or from my history. It comes from a movie based upon Nicole Kidman, where Nicole Kidman, if you haven't seen it, so spoiler alert, but she plays a female in a house who believes the house is haunted, and she can see all of this other family. Long story short, it turns out that she was the one who passed away, and the family was the real family, and she was the ghost. For you see, the plot line and the storyline sticks in the subconscious because we don't forget things. The brain is a massive storage device. It remembers all the things. So your brain remembers seeing that, whether you remember it physically in your waking life or not. The brain does. So what if there was a possibility that when your brain goes into these thoughts, and you have those thoughts, it's not you creating it, it's not you believing it, it is something that is attaching itself to that memory of that movie, and it is making it believe that you are it. So whether it attaches itself to a memory or a thought that you believe that is the case, it has come from a movie. I knew a friend who, they said to me that their son who went missing, or a friend's son who went missing, who was crazy, so to speak, was believing he was Jason Bourne and running around hiding from things and doing all Jason Bourne type stuff. It wasn't all there, whether it was drug related or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the whole idea rings true, because if you believe you are something, well, where did you see it? You saw it in a movie, so your brain must remember it. Don't put it past the possibilities that when we drive around all the city areas and these towers and these things and all of the stuff that is supposedly keeping us in a mental prison, it has the ability to attach itself to them. Everything is energy and frequency, and they have the power, they have that technology to do it. It's just, how do you see it? How do you accept it? And when it is forced either by drugs or an outside influence, or just a physical disease perhaps, where do you think it goes? We call it the subconscious, but it is not sub at all. It is the memory bank. It is the emotional attachment to things. It is placing a frequency that stores itself on your vinyl disc, and when it comes upon to play, they know which frequency and hertz to put it at. And maybe you do too. Maybe your body is trying to tell you something, to let you have the opportunity to expand and to grow. That is also possible. I think if you sit down and just think about the possibility that it could be, it doesn't have to be true. But when thoughts like these come into your mind, and thoughts like this come into somebody else that you might know about, that you don't understand it, these are the possibilities why. So if you have someone in a situation like that, don't try to fix them. Don't heal them with compassion. They don't want that. They want to be listened to. So in my case, if someone was to say, you need help, let me get you help, how can I help you? They don't want that. I don't want that. Nobody does. I don't need it now, of course, but some people do. But you see, it's about believing them that it's happening, as they cannot comprehend, because they are stuck in that motion. They're stuck in that thought, that idea, because it's overpowering. And even if you have those thoughts, just sit back, observe it, understand that it is a connection to your subconscious. It is a connection to the memory banks of all the videos you have watched in your entire life. It can go as far deep as the Akashic records, but mainly in the waking 3D reality. Gladly, there are limitations to this, of course, because some people can be aggressive. Doesn't matter what you do, of course there's that. But you see, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the ability for one to maintain control. It's a fascinating thing when you can observe a potential thought that can keep you trapped or haunts you. But how would you heal yourself? How would you talk to yourself in that situation? We are so good at helping others, but how do you heal yourself? Do you heal by past experiences? Most of us do. General healers Most of us do. And with that, peace and love and light. Take care.